Welcome to the Monday Night Live Stream, aka Hangout Stream, aka Chill Stream, baby. With yours truly, the man broadcasting from behind the curtain. You know who I am. Because if you don't know by now, you can visit www.livefreeliverich.com or Google simplement mon nom, et vous pouvez. Nailed it. Excuse my French. But I'm in a good mood tonight, folks. Not going to lie. I have two exciting things lined up for this live stream. Well, they're exciting for me because I get a chance to finally talk about some of your work. Because I have what I have lined up. I have some special shout outs lined up for tonight. And then after that, I'm going to be watching some videos, some of your videos. That's right. You content creators, you newbie content creators out there in YouTube, Booktube, Authortube land. Ooh, yeah. All right. So basically, this live stream, this is going to be like, for me, it's going to be kind of like practice with doing my shout outs, practice with looking up videos on the fly and getting them on the stream and seeing how smooth of a process that is. But again, as usual, as far as I'm concerned, this is your show. I'm just playing the producer. So what do I mean by that? If you have a book out on the market that you would like to raise some awareness for, all you got to do, come onto the stream, introduce yourself to me. That's all I need is a title and the name of the author. But please only request shout outs for your work, or else I'm sure as the stream grows, there could be one person could request like 15, 30 different people. But the thing is, feel free to share via word of mouth, sharing the stream, however you'd like it. It's no big deal to me, but I just want to make this available to you guys and let you know. You can tell your friends, tell your peers, tell your colleagues who may have some work coming out onto the market. They're getting ready to publish their first book, whatever it may be. If they're in the indie market, tell them to come onto the stream so they can request a shout out from me. And like I say, all I need is the title of the book and the author name. The reason why I need the author name is because I know that sometimes you guys use pen names. So we'll just go by the honor system on that one. And I'll look it up on the live stream and I'll read the blurb. I'll read the synopsis and give you a little shout out like that. Another way is if you are a content creator on YouTube, you like to get some more eyes on your channel, or you would just like me to watch one of your videos and you just like to get my reaction, get my commentary, get my opinion, maybe some insights on your video. Some ideas could be like video essays. I also had another idea that came to me just the other day, and it's not just, the videos are not just regulated to the Authortube, Booktuber realm of YouTube. It is kind of, it includes the creative sphere as a whole. So it could be like a video essay, like that's philosophical in nature or metaphysical in nature, that's thought-provoking, it's intriguing, but it's put together in like a kind of like a, like an entertaining kind of way. Or it could be, the other idea that came to me the other day was, if you are a stand-up comedian and you have some bits that you've uploaded online and you would like me to check those out, that could be interesting. Just go ahead, comment a link to the video that you would like to request that I watch on the live stream, and I will do that. And if you are a comedian, what I think would be interesting is if I don't watch your video at all, and I wait to put it on the live stream. Just give me a heads up that it's a comedy bit. I may be able to just tell by reading your video description when I check the link, but I won't watch the video, and then I'll put it on the live, and then you can kind of get my first impression / like genuine reaction to your stand-up routine or your bit, whatever bit you do. And that could be interesting live, I think. And last but not least, if you have a website or you run a blog and you publish poetry, you publish flash fiction, or you publish essays of your own, and you would like me to read something on the live stream, I'm willing to do that as well. Again, just like with the video requests, just leave a link. Just comment a link, and that way I can look it up and I can kind of do a little prep ahead of time if I can't get it on, unless you are participating live, which that's what I would really like, is to just have you guys join me on the live stream and we could just do this stuff on the fly. Like, you never really know who's going to pop up and what's going to happen on the live stream type of deal. Flying by the seat of our pants, baby. So what most people like to do in this situation or say is, without further ado. So these books that I'm about to give shout outs for, these authors, these books were giveaways that I won because I just so happened to be at the right place at the right time during and participated during a live event where they were holding this, contest to kind of get the audience members engaged. And I chose to participate, and I happened to win these books right here. So the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't want people to get the impression that I'm interested in accepting unsolicited material, which I absolutely am not. If you email me or asking to send me an ARC in exchange for an honest review, I'll tell you right now, the answer is going to be an automatic no from me. The reason for that is not, not trying to sound like an asshole about it. It's just a matter of, like, I'll tell you straight right out the gate, the only person's schedule I'm on is my own. So I operate on my own time, nobody else's, and that's the way that I like it. So I read what I want, when I want, and that's not to sound mean. That's just, I say it more so out of respect, because I actually understand what an advanced reader copy is fundamentally, and I know that the purpose of ARCs is to get them out to people who have an audience, and so that they can read them within a certain time frame, and then provide a review in anticipation of that book's release to kind of build up some hype. And I just don't want to have that kind of pressure, because I never know what I may be up to or what projects I may have going on. So I don't want to take on that kind of burden. Let me just make sure I got everything here. So I'm not against the idea of advanced reader copies. It's just, for me, that, like, the whole underground scene for me is all about discovery. So I'll scour the independent market in search of those rare gems, and finding artists that barely anybody even knows about, and just making my own decision to just pick up their work and just give it a try without knowing what the hell to expect. Like that's the whole, like that's the fun. That's where the fun lies for me with the independent market. And also another thing about it is like when you do, it's like that extra sentimentality, if you will, when it's an artist that you yourself have discovered, and you, in this age of social media, it's very easy to kind of like keep tabs on them and just, you know, just follow them as in terms of, because you appreciate their work, and just see, it's fun to see like how they develop as an artist, as a professional, and see, you know, where they end up in terms of their career and their craft and whatnot. It's almost like it's like a multi-layered, the indie scene and the underground scene is like a multi-layered, it's like a story within a story, if you will. And that's what's fun. That's what's so fun about it to me. Anyways, enough babbling, dawdling here. The first shout out, first author I would like to shout out, first book as well, is Below by Laurel Hightower. This book, actually, she got this little book cover magnet that came with it. That's cool. Kind of reminds me that maybe I should get some swag made up for some. It's good promo material. I need some promo materials. So maybe I keep an eye out for someone out there that might be able to make some promo materials. Anyways, back to the book. We got Below by Laurel Hightower. And let's just start this off, this little shout out. We're going to start off just looking physically at the book. What we have here is it's a mass market paperback edition. And this paperback is actually published by Ghoulish Books. And I can already tell that this is a small press company or indie press. They must publish their own stuff or have somebody other than Amazon publishing their books, because this paper quality, it's got that cool, I'm going to nerd out here just for a second, but the paper quality, it's got that cool, like pulpy type of feel to it. And the pages are a little bit thinner. They got that a little bit more see-through style paper. And the formatting on this is very nice. As you can see, that the chapters are very short too. So probably breeze right through this. It's not extremely long. It's stories. It's about a little over 100 pages. So quick read. Let me get into the blurb here. Just one moment. I want to do this. Added effect. All right. How far would you go to help a stranger? Hold on, let me start that over again. All right. How far would you go to help a stranger? While driving through the mountains of West Virginia during a late-night snowstorm, a recently divorced woman experiences bizarre electrical problems, leaving her with little choice but to place her trust with a charismatic truck driver. But when an unexplainable creature with haunting red eyes gets between them, she is forced to make one of the toughest decisions of her life. Will she abandon the stranger who kept her safe, or will she climb down below where reality has shapeshifted into a living nightmare? Down at the bottom here, there's a quote from Chris Sorensen, author of The Nightmare Room. He says, "Buckle your seatbelt because this baby accelerates." Very nice. That is Below by Laurel Hightower. Let's do a little, see if I can do a little, see if I can do a thumbnail here. All right. Next up, this one's going to be interesting. Let me just say that I got some extra. I got quite a bit. Well, there's quite a bit to say about this next one. This next one is an anthology, multi-author anthology, The Dead Inside. The Dead Inside. It just says a horror anthology edited by Laurel Hightower, the author of the last novel, and Sandra Rattan. And right off the bat, I know that this cover right here is created by Gemma Amor. Might have heard that name before. I've done an indie breakdown on one of her books in the past, Girl on Fire. And she's also an illustrator, as you can see. And let me just say right off the bat, I just like to say that I like the color scheme here. The color scheme really makes this cover pop for me. It's got this frosty pastel blue, and then it contrasts nicely with this bloody goop that we have here. It looks very nice, and the illustration is very very professional looking as well, I have to say. All right. She signed these books as well. That's nice of her. I've never done a breakdown. I haven't done all these books that I'm showing right now, these are all being added to my TBR, but I have to say I've yet to tackle a multi-author anthology in my indie breakdown series. So that could be, I wonder how I'm going to do that. So usually I'm used to doing like one author at a time. And this one has 33, if I'm not mistaken. This one has 33 different authors. So it's like flash fiction / short story / like poetry, I believe. Now, what I wanted to do with this one is in the back, I noticed there's something that I found interesting. In the back, I was just looking through the table of contents, and it says content warnings in the back. There's a whole section in the back of the book that's dedicated to content warnings, which, I mean, let me just read. For me, as a writer, I think that when you put content warnings on something, like if you put content warnings on something, you're doing, it's not so much that you're doing a service as much as it's really just a courtesy for the readers. Like if you're writing adult, like if your book is like marketed for adults, I think that, it should be pretty obvious that it's not for children, and it's probably going to have adult type themes and material in the book. But like with my own work, I put like a generic type of like content warning on my works, just to kind of give, just not because I think that it's required, because it definitely is not required as far as I'm concerned, but you're just doing a courtesy for the readers out there that may be triggered by certain things. But the thing about it is, like, if people know that they get triggered by things, why are they looking up, material that they know, is possibly going to have things that might, like, are they living on the edge? Like, oh, I don't know if this book's gonna make me feel bad, type of deal. I don't know. Anyways, content warnings. So this should be entertaining. So I'm not reading these. Don't get it twisted. I'm not reading some of these content warnings because I'm making fun of this project in any shape, fashion, or form, as much as I'm just having fun with the idea. Because for you guys out there, it might actually turn you on to the book to hear some of these content warnings. So, content warnings identify subject matter that some readers may find distressing. For some, the subject matter could trigger anxiety or stress because of issues they've dealt with in their lives. Content warnings offer readers the option of setting content aside until they feel emotionally prepared to process that content, or avoid the content altogether. No one's obligated to read the content warnings, but they're there for those who wish to refer to them. So I'm not going to list, I will list the authors. I'll give each one of them a quick little shout out, but I'm not going to list like what is involved in all their stories and everything. So as far as content warnings, so what this doesn't mean that the stories are about these things. These are just some of the themes or the type of material, that type of themes or subject matter that is contained within the stories that are in this book. So I'll just read off some of these. Oh, let me get this on here. Well, first off, before I even do that, I'm not going to be rude here. Let me just set the scene and read you the blurb before I forget. This is for Dead Inside. Our identity is the essence of who we are. But what if our identity is threatened? What if our family members or partners reject our identity? What if educators and employers push us to conform to their prejudices or expectations for us? When we twist, contort, bleed, unravel, and die on the vine, what becomes of the pieces that remain? How much can we cut before there's nothing left? Through the pages of The Dead Inside, some of the best horror writers of our era examine the forces that threaten our identity, exposing the ways identity horror threatens our well-being, our dreams, our very existence. All right. So here, do a quick shout. Let's just go ahead and do a quick shout out to all the authors on here, featuring stories and poems by S.H. Cooper, M. Lopez da Silva, Paul Michael Anderson, K.P. Kulski, Robert Bagnall, Belicia Rhea, Eric Raglan, Robert Stahl, Sarah Jackson, Daniel Barnett, I've heard that name, R.J. Joseph, Sam Kyung Yu, A.K. Dennis, Ali Seay, S-E-A-Y, Michelle Cadiz, Joe Koch, Jason Bonet, Avra Margariti, Michelle Mellon, Avalyn Freeling, Katie Young, Marcus Woodman, Sarah Wu, Ellie Turpett, Renee Cronley, Mary Rajetti, Patrick Tumbletti, Roxy Voorhees, Tabitha Wood, and Scott J. Moses. Was that everyone? All right, let's get into the good stuff. So these are the type of themes and subject matter that you can expect from this book. We have bullying, depression, death of a loved one, parentheses, suicide, self-harm, suicidal ideation, clowns, domestic abuse, stalking, ableist language, abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, child abuse, all the abuses, alcohol, anger issues, blood, gore, car accident, hospitalization, pills. I'm assuming they don't mean Flintstone vitamins. Self-harm, suicidal ideation, I already said that. Manipulation, toxic relationship, amnesia, memory loss, death, murder, death of a parent, mental illness, terminal illness, cancer, trauma, allusion to child sexual assault, victim blaming, abuse, trauma, TWs, subject to interpretation. I forget what that means. I looked that up, but TWs, subject to interpretation. I think that was like fear of vomiting or something like that. No, that's something else. Hold on. That's coming up. Racism, self-harm imagery, abuse, memory loss, blood, homophobia, conversion therapy, torture, bullying, racism, death, anxiety, child abuse, gore, blood, death, murder, bullying, cult, forced marriage, homophobia, homophobic, slurs, conversion therapy, kidnapping, grooming of a minor, blood, gore, graphic injuries, death. I think you're getting the point here. There was some other ones. Let me just skip over some of the repeats here. Divorce, guilt, hallucinations, verbal abuse, sex, graphic injury, body shaming, death, kidnapping, loss of a loved one, torture, trauma, violence, a lot of repeats, misogyny, suicidal ideation, cancer, misgendering. It's ma'am. Okay, it's ma'am. You called me sir, not once, not twice, but thrice. It's ma'am. Triggered. Victim blaming. All right. I think that about wraps it up. This is the other one that I wanted to say. I had to look this one up. I didn't even know what it was. Emit emetophobia. I had to look that up. That is a fear of vomiting or a fear of throwing up. Like you're afraid you might throw up. Then there's culture identity issues and blah, 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 blah. Eating disorder type stuff and all that. Bunch of stuff that sensitive people can get triggered over. But anyways, that is Dead Inside. Looking forward to it, I have to say. Sounds like it's going to be a gay old time. As Dead Inside. Now those books, now let me just go ahead and shout out how I got those books. I was watching Brad Proctor's live stream that he does with his buddy Jay. And that is called, if you guys would like to know, is called Paper Cuts. Paper Cuts live stream or Paper Cuts broad podcast. That's the name of the stream, and that is Brad's Twitter handle for his podcast, and he talks about other stuff as well. And let me just go ahead and pull up his channel so you can see. There's Brad's channel. Let's make that full screen actually. There you go. There's Brad's channel right there. You can go swing over there. He does his paper cuts. He does whenever he has a guest. He'll do those, but you can see on the main page of his channel here, you can just scroll down and shows his live streams right here, his paper cuts events. And when he goes live, it's pretty fun. He does ask like interview style type questions when he's interviewing the authors, but he also makes it fun too. He'll put like games in there. He'll do like games and contests, like I said, and that's how I happen to win those books there. And also he does that show with, don't forget, his buddy Jay as well, known as J-Mads on Twitter, and that's his Twitter handle right there. Let me just bring up his channel real quick so you can look him up. Just do it. You can just pause it. You can just pause the video and check out his channel on the replay or whatever. There you go. The World According to Jay is the name of his channel on YouTube. So leave that there for a second. You can come back to that later and look him up and maybe subscribe to his channel. He also does reviews on his own time. He reads a lot. He's a huge supporter of the independent market. He reads a lot of independent authors, and he does reviews. He does individual videos for each book that he reviews. You can check him out. All right, get through these tabs here. We're making decent time, about halfway through. This is where I thought I would be in the live stream. We got one more shout out, and then I'm going to get to some videos. So this one I actually got a while back, and originally, I was just going to do, well, he had sent me some swag, and I had done a social media post on that, but he also sent me a copy of his book as well, signed copy, might I add, which I'm grateful for, because I was interested in what was going on. The live event that he was hosting. It was a launch event, and that is last but not least, we have The Last Keeper by J.V. Hilliard. There you go. Let me do a boom. So The Last Keeper. This is fantasy from what I remember about the stream. He is a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons. I can't. Let me get to the. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I know about him. This is a fantasy epic by him. And let's just take a look. Take a look at that cover. First thing I want to say about the cover is what catches my eye the most about the cover is just this typeset right here and this font. For me, that's the biggest deal about this cover right here. That really sticks with me. For whatever reason, I look at that and I just think like that could be, I could see that like almost like being like a TV series type card, if you will, like title card for a TV series or something like that. Just think that looks cool. So let's read the blurb. Let's do the book justice here. Let's get that cover on there. All right. The Last Keeper. A young boy's prophetic visions. Blind at birth, Damus Alaric is blessed with the gift of prophetic sight. Now, as a keeper of the forbidden, he must use his powers of the sight to foil the plans of a fallen keeper. Grey Taurus the Mad. An elven princess with a horrifying secret. Princess Adeline Elspeth travels from Eldwall, the magically hidden home of the Vermilion Elves, to begin her life as a diplomat to the human capital of Castleshire. During her journey, she stumbles upon a mystical creature foretelling ill tidings. A terrifying force of evil. Damus's reoccurring nightmare vision threatens to catapult him into a terrifying struggle that will leave the fate of the keepers and the realm hanging in the balance. Damus and Princess Adeline must set out to face the menace that threatens their very existence. Will the entire realm fall to its knees? The Last Keeper is the first book in the Warminster series. With gripping, epic action and heart-pounding excitement, you'll love this new adventure series by jvhilliard.com. Very nice. Very good. I don't know. It's a thickum. Well, it's pretty thick for me. It's over No, well, I guess as far as no, it's approachable. It's definitely approachable in terms of fantasy. Not bad. The font's actually pretty big too on here. It's only about 400 pages. That's really not bad for fantasy. For indie fantasy, about a little over 400 pages is not bad at all for an indie fantasy series. All right. Oh, let me do this. And that book, I won participating in a contest on a live stream. The live show, like I say, it was like a release party or something like that type of deal, and that was from Dane Cobain. That was on Dane Cobain's YouTube channel. Dane Cobain. He is also an indie author himself, very prolific. He's multi-talented artist. He also is in a band. He does art. He does an art show. He broadcasts an art show program for a radio station. I'm not sure if it's like a college radio station or whatever it is. And he also runs his YouTube channel where he does book reviews, reads poetry, and then he also uploads those art shows on there as well. He does author interviews. He's just very much, you get a whole smorgasbord with Dane Cobain, except it has nothing to do with meat because I'm pretty sure he's vegan. But anyways, this is his Twitter handle. Easy enough. Let me bring up his YouTube here. There you go. So that's his name all across the board. Dane Cobain at Dane Cobain at danecobain.youtube. There you go. Easy enough. You can go over there, check him out, maybe give him a little subscription. Also, I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you can see my mouse on here, but I got him on my TBR as well. I'm going to be reading this book of his that you can see on his banner up here. I'm going to be reading that No Rest for the Wicked all the way on the left over there. That's going to be coming up soon on my list, as a matter of fact. So you could look out for the indie breakdown on that when it's available. That's all the shout outs, folks. You can let me know how I did. Was it all right? Did I do all right or what? Did I do those authors justice? You let me know. And if you are interested in getting a shout out on the live stream, I encourage you, come on to the live stream. I stream live every Monday at 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Thinking about pushing it to 9 p.m. Maybe that'd be better. Pushing it to 9 p.m. That way, those people on the West Coast have had a chance to had a chance to have dinner, get a little bite to eat, and maybe begin to relax a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll make it the late show, and we'll do 10 p.m. because sometimes my sleep cycles shift every now and then, and I become a night owl. I stay up late. I'm like the late show. I could be at some point. I'll start at 1 a.m. probably. Get people over in the UK waking up, having breakfast, having their tea and biscuits. So we can find out. But next, that was fun. So next, what I'm going to do, this idea came to me the other week. And what I'm going to do is watch some videos made by you guys on YouTube, some newbies newbies. I say that in quotes because you might not necessarily be a newbie on YouTube, but you're doing what is called the newbie book tag. For those of you who don't know, hold on. All right. So for those of you who aren't familiar, the Booktube newbie tag. Hold on, let me just test. Let me test my audio real quick. Okay, very good. So for those of you who aren't familiar in the Booktube realm, there's basically like these tag videos. They're like, think of them similar to like trends, like, you know, throwing trends all the way back to like ice bucket challenge or something like that. You know, someone records a video, and then at the end of the video they tag some friends to also do the video, the similar type of video. But the thing is, it's not the thing about it is it's not a trend like, you know, one of those dumb like TikTok ones or like a Instagram one where it's just like, you know, they're just doing like a lip sync or something like that. It's actually like the booktube newbie tag is for people to get involved. It's an easy piece of content for people to make where they get on camera and they answer some questions that are bookish related type questions, but it allows them to kind of share some personality in a not so, I guess, where they feel like they're on the spot type of way. And what's cool about it is it allows them also to, allows you to also get involved in the community by tagging other people as well. And people on Authortube, Booktube like to keep an eye on who's new in the community. So by looking up, so all you gotta do is just search on the search bar in YouTube, Booktube, what is it? Newbie Booktube tag. Booktube newbie tag. There we go. And that backwards. And that is what I'm going to do here. And we're going to watch some Booktube newbies. And I've set the bar at videos. I've set the bar at videos that are under 1,000 views. So videos that are under 1,000 views, I will, I'll just randomly, I'll just pick one that I'll just pick ones that jump out at me or seem like I'd want to watch them and just see what they have to say. And what I'll do is, since it's like multiple questions, I may just watch the video long enough for them to like answer one question. And then what I'll do is if I have an answer to the question myself, I'll play along on the stream and answer the questions here on the live. I know it's a little bit more difficult to answer the questions on the fly versus making a prepared video like these folks did, where they have time to sit down and think about their answer and they can get creative with it and perhaps be witty with it and all that. But, you know, I'll play along. And this is my idea, and this is my proposition to you guys out there who you have YouTube channels, and this could be a way for you to get involved with my live stream. So if you do a tag video, the tag videos, there's a whole bunch of them out there. One of them, a creative one that pops off the top of my head, was created by a YouTuber by the name of John. It comes, and his channel Books of Blood, like the Clive Barker Books of Blood, but that's the name of his YouTube channel, Books of Blood, and his name's John. And he made one. It was like the social media book tag video, and it was basically like all these like it's not always like book related, like it can be like pop, just basically general like pop culture related type stuff too, like what for instance his would be like, what movie character or book character would you friend on Facebook and which one would you deny, or something like that. And then like Tinder, like which one would you swipe left on, which one would you swipe right, that sort of stuff, you know. It's just a fun, easy little microwave type content that can be created and recreated by other people, but being able to add a little personal flair, if you will, to the video, and get involved in the community by tagging other people. But anyways, enough dawdling. All right, look up my search. Booktube newbie tag right there. And let me do this. There we go. That's nice. That looks good. Screen share. All right. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it like that. We do it like that. Raise that up. All right, Booktube newbie tags. Here we go. Let's check these out. So under 1,000 views. Sorry, Avery. Avery, avid reader, 5,000 views. He's 8,000. Here's one, 800. All right, Rachel's Bookmark. Let's check her out. Her on there. Open that tab. 87,000. Look at you. Fictional Fates. 2,000. 1.3, 1.9. I know Brandon's Bookshelf. I've subscribed to him. Okay. JR Carrel. As you can see, I've already watched quite a bit of this one. I'm adding him to the list because I want to give him a shout out. He is also an independent author. And then we got Monti B. Her name? Monti B. We'll add her to the list. And Spacewalkerreads, also known as Vera. All right, Vera, we'll add you to the list. See how that goes. All right, I see the window does not pop up. So what I'm going to do, close this. Hold on. Now we got to add this one. Share audio, yes. All right.
Hi, welcome to my channel. I cannot believe I just said that out loud. Oh my God. Hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome.
The nerves.
Welcome to Rachel's Bookmark. This is something I've been thinking about for years and years. I have been an avid Booktube follower for years, an avid reader my entire life. And I decided recently that now is the time. We're going to try something new. We're going to dive head first and, see if I can't do this myself. So I wanted to start off our first video here with the Booktube newbie tag, just so that you can get to know me a little bit. And yeah, maybe we can start a really cool, awesome friendship here. I have the questions over here on my computer. So yeah, I'm sure you've watched these before. This is nothing new to anybody, but we'll go through the questions and see if we can't get to know each other a little better. Oh my God, Nerd City. Okay. Question 1. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to YouTube? Really, I think my unique perspective here is that I really am willing to read anything. I don't really have a specific genre that I find myself falling into. I do read a lot of like mystery thriller, but really I have a little bit of everything on my TBR. I have read a little bit of everything from the like early days when we're all into chick lit and that kind of stuff. I've done, I love celebrity memoirs. I love, obviously love mystery thriller. I've dabbled a little bit into romance. I love sci-fi. So I'm really willing to try anything. What I really, really want to take from this channel is branching out and reading things that you guys want me to read. It's easy.
There you go. She might be interested in your advanced reader copies.
Enough for me to go look at the latest and greatest on Goodreads or New York Times bestseller lists and stuff.
Or requests.
But what I really want to do is connect with other people. I love buddy reading. I want to read things at the same time as everyone else.
Buddy reads. I haven't gotten into buddy reads. Again, I don't. For me, it's just a schedule thing. I don't want to feel like I'm on a schedule. I know there are some groups that get together and they do buddy reads, and they kind of have like a loose schedule. I might at some point I might hop on one of those and see if I can't get involved that way. I'm on several different booktubers Discord channels, and I know that that's a popular thing that people like to do on Discord is do these buddy read book club type deals.
And yeah, I really just want to.
As far as unique things, to answer the question, I mean, this right here is what I'm bringing to YouTube, and my own little style and flair, if you will, as far as just giving people shout outs. All I want to do is just run this live stream, and I'll upload my shorts, and every now and then, not on a regular schedule, but when I feel like it, or when I feel like I've got something to say that I think is meaningful to and add something to the community, I will maybe put together like a video essay style YouTube video, or like a vlog style video or something like that, where I'm talking about a topic or something like that I would like to share some points on in relation to the creative sphere. Other than that, I'm just going to keep doing this live stream thing for you guys.
Kind of be like hip to what everybody else is reading. So, I mean, I think I like it all.
Well, welcome, Rachel's Bookmark. I just subscribed to your channel. I'm going to let you know. That way I'm not, let me just bring this up so I can comment. Welcome to the Booktube. Welcome to the Booktube. I should put the title so she can check it out. Welcome to the Booktube. And I always end my contents with my hashtag LFLR, live free, live rich, and then my little motto down at the bottom, VBW, which is my mantra, value begins within. It's my little way of authenticating my comment. Boom. Welcome. All right, we'll keep it moving along. I'm hitting an hour now, so I'm gonna try to move this along here a little bit. J.R. Carrel, he's the indie writer, the indie author I was telling you about. Let's see, he doesn't have. Probably would have been easier if he had timestamps, but that's okay. We'll just kind of wing it. We'll go for the second question. See if we can get the second question out of him.
A little different perspective that I bring is that I'm a writer first, then I guess the other way around. It's been
that was the first question.
And entertainment. I'm just really excited about discussions. Getting more people involved with everything, fantasy, sci-fi, with this channel. What do you love to read? I read a little bit of everything.
I think that was the same
fantasy,
question. Hold on. Let's see what the next question is.
Pull off one video a week for now. And what books do you like to read? Oh, when did you start reading? Well, again, I was more into movies as a kid than reading. I came a little later to reading, but the first book that really spurred me was Eaters of the Dead by Michael Crichton, which I actually had watched the movie The 13th Warrior beforehand, but I didn't know that it had anything to do with the book. And I just loved it because I love, Norse sagas and anything that has to do with the Vikings. And that's one of the few books, because I used to be that kid who would get a book report, find the movie, watch the movie, make sure there's no real change that anyone can see, and then I would do the book report. And I normally do really well.
That's rookie. You got to go to Cliff Notes or Spark Notes. I think that was that website name. You got to go to sparknotes.com. If you don't feel like reading the book, you go to Spark Notes or Cliff. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. You don't read the movie. I mean, you don't watch the movie. Everyone knows that. You're going to be the adaptations rarely reflect what's in the book.
But with Eaters of the Dead, it's a shorter book too, and I was able.
As far as that question goes, when did I start reading? Well, I mean, as a kid, I was reading and writing when I was a child. I remember reading and writing as early as elementary school, but I'm trying to remember what grade. I remember the Scholastic book fairs. I don't know if some of you are around my age or old enough to remember the Scholastic book fairs, but those were pretty badass back in the day. And I used to read the shit out of some Goosebump books. I'll tell you that right now. And I remember one of my first Goosebump books was Night of the Living Dummy. That was I remember that, and also the bee ones, whatever that one was, like the one where the kid is turned into a bee or something like that. And then that actually reading those Goosebump books is what inspired me as a child to like want to get into writing my own little horror, little flash fiction booklets. I would construct these booklets out of like cardboard and lined paper. Well, not cardboard, excuse me. Construction. I would make the covers out of like construction paper, and then I'd have like lined paper inside, stapled inside, and I'd make these little horror. I wish I had kept those, but I'd draw like the covers and stuff like that, and then I'd hand write these little flash fiction stories. I didn't know they were called flash fiction at that time. I was just making shit up as a kid, you know, in these little booklets. And and then I went on hiatus with my reading and stuff like that. And I didn't really get serious about getting back into reading until I was like after middle school, high school. It wasn't until like my early to closer mid 20s is when I started picking books back up again, like seriously, but mostly nonfiction type books at first. And then I started getting back into literature closer to like my late 20s. I started getting back into literature. I was reading some of the classics, you know, like Dante's Inferno, The Art of War, Catcher in the Rye, Atlas Shrugged, you know, that type of stuff. I was reading that when I first got back into literature, and now I read pretty much not all. Every time I read a book now, it's like pretty much always from the independent market. Like I say, I keep my eyes out for those rare gems out there, and I want to find some more artists. I need some more artists for me to follow. I want to keep tabs and see how their story, see how their character arc develops.
It would have just, you know, I was sucked in. I don't think it took me more than 2 days or whatever to read that book, and it was just enthralling. Next question.
All right, let's see. Let's check out the next one. All right. I'll have to hit Steve up. I mean, I'll have to hit Mr. Carrel up later, let him know he was on the live stream. I forgot to comment. All right. Let's see what Monti B has to say.
My name's Monty, and since I've put out a few videos, I thought it was probably about time that I do the Booktuber newbie tag, because I decided I kind of want to keep doing this. And what better way to introduce myself than to go ahead and answer these questions and let you get to know me a little bit more and what my channel is going to be all about. And hopefully, hopefully I'll do this right and I won't mess this up too bad.
Thanks for
So I've
stopping
got the
by,
questions
man.
right in front of me. If I look down, sorry, I don't have them memorized, but I hope you'll forgive me. So
This is loud. So just to give a quick recap, I'm watching. I'm just looking up videos. I'm looking up videos under the Booktube newbie tag, people who are under 1,000 views on their video, and just kind of playing along. I've never done one of the Booktube newbie tags, so I'm kind of playing along and just doing it live, seeing if I can just do it off the top. And while I kind of give these people's channels just a little shout out.
So first question, why did I start the channel? Pretty much because I love books. I love reading. I also watch a lot of booktubers and a lot of YouTube in general. And I thought, well, it looks like it would be fun. It looked like a fun thing to do in my spare time. And it would give me an outlet to talk about the things that I love, which is reading books and the stories that I love. So plus I love learning new things. And I thought, what better way to learn something new than to take on starting a YouTube channel, learning. And the books I like to read are.
I already did that question.
Everyone should have your mindset and your outlook by experiencing others' thoughts, others' feelings, others' words. And so I just think that reading is it's a cat in the box, or I feel very, very passionate about it. So what book or series got you into reading? I actually remember the first book
I answered that
one.
Let's see if we can.
Completely obsessed, and still kind of to this day. And now I love series, and I love when I find, or I would even go, embarrassed to kind of share like things that they really like. So what challenges will be the hardest in starting this channel?
Here we go.
Definitely time. I do work in a 9 to 5, and so that always will come first. My normal job. And then I also live with 2 parrots. So when they are awake, it is impossible to film because that is all you hear is them. So I have to film really early in the morning or really late at night after they go to bed. And so it kind of really limits the time frame I have. So that's probably the number one challenge. The second challenge is I have a speech impediment. So I have a slight stammer that I have went to speech therapy for years ever since I was very young. And
you can't really tell.
It tends to come out when I'm
not
nervous.
saying
so I try
or every
hard
2 seconds like I do.
Not be nervous while I talk into a camera. Those are probably the 2 biggest challenges, but I'm so excited for this and I just want to keep pushing through. So when did you start reading? I started reading when I was in kindergarten. I remember us learning the alphabet, and I had a Dick and Jane book. So like I said, I'm older, Gen X, and I remember reading from the Dick and Jane books. So like you've probably seen it, like See Dick Run, See Jane Run. Those books are what like I learned to read from. And I remember that the first word that I was able to read was look. And I remember like I have a vivid memory of like, and it's just a flash instant memory, but of recognizing that word on a page and knowing what it meant. And it was amazing. So where do I read? Mostly at home, I would say, because that's where I spend most of my time. I work from home and I spend a lot of my time at home, but I do like to read out in my garden. And if I do have to go somewhere, so if I'm at the doctor's or I'm at an appointment and I'm waiting, I will be reading my book. If I'm driving somewhere, I have my audiobook. When I'm working out, it's audiobooks.
Yeah, I was going to say she's pretty well spoken.
If I'm ever in a situation where I am a little bit bored or I'm waiting,
she doesn't really seem extremely nervous either.
Even if I'm super uncomfortable, if I can find a corner to go to and read, that's where you'll find me. And what kind of books do I like to read? So my absolute favorite genre is sci-fi. I grew up reading sci-fi, and I have read so many different kinds of sci-fi, and I just absolutely love it. My second favorite genre is fantasy, and I love so many of the subgenres that kind of fall under both of those. So I love like post-apocalyptic. I love.
It'd be hilarious. You just hear a parrot like start swearing in the background. All right, we got one more here, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Spacewalkerreads, aka Vera. Oh, I might pop it up on the screen here. That'd probably help. Share audio. Boom, bada boom, bada bang. It's not too bad. It's pretty easy to just look these videos up and bring them up. It doesn't take much time. Doesn't take much time. Fiddling around with these windows is what I spend most of my time doing here. All right, let's give Vera some mic time.
Like the iconic, introduction to the community. I've done videos before, so this is not really my first video by any means, but just want to put it out there, and maybe will help some people find me through it and know more about me as well. Also, warning: the lighting is
I like your little style. You got some style going on there. You got a little bit of swag.
Sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's not.
She's got some drip. Is that what the kids call it? You got some drip.
We never know. First question is, why did you start this channel? I started this channel because
we already did that. Hold on. I left this on there. If you guys want to look them up and watch the whole video, then you can do that. But I just want to get a different question here. Let me just go ahead and leave my comment before I look up the question.
I just said enough of nagging my boyfriend about books that he doesn't know, and I would just talk about it, and it's just like,
I imagine that's probably something too, is like if you're married or you live with a spouse or something like that, and you are into reading, but maybe your spouse isn't into reading so much, that could probably be, a little bit not difficult, but just like, that's the cool, I would say in a positive light, that's the cool thing about Booktube, is just having someplace, an outlet where you can go and you can have people that are reading, the similar type of books that you read. And that's definitely a positive aspect as far as social media goes, for sure.
Like when he talks to me about video games, I don't really understand, but I'm very supportive, and he's very supportive as well. But it's just like, I'm going to talk about books in a community about books. And thus, this channel happened, and here we are. Here I am. And basically, it's that. I just want to talk about books, and I just want to be motivated and discuss and be more coherent when it comes to talk about books. Question number 2, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to YouTube? Honestly,
well, she's got these screens up, so I can easily, maybe I can find another question I haven't done.
I'm your typical Booktube thumbnail. There's really nothing unique that I can bring besides myself. You know, I'm my own person, and that's it. That's the only thing that makes me different, is just that I'm this person and I'm here making videos. So there's really nothing. I'm reading books that everyone has read before or someone has read before.
That's what
There's
you
really
find
nothing,
positive, Chaz.
New, but I think that nevertheless, I can be fun. Question number 3, what are you
She's
most
doing that.
excited about for your channel? To be honest, I just want to make
That's what I do.
friends. No, I just want to find people with the same reading taste as I have, because my favorite booktubers don't really have the same taste as I do in terms of reading. Sometimes it's
That's
really
it. It's only 5 questions.
bad because
I already did all the
they
questions.
like a book that I don't like, and it's just like, okay, that's really what I'm most excited about. Like people who like the same things that I do, and or just, you know, just back and forth about books. That's really what I'm most excited about, like having conversations about books, maybe in the future. Question number 4, why do you love reading? Don't we just love these?
Yeah, I agree.
Don't we just love to be like transported to another world, another universe with someone else as the main character instead of ourselves, just being out of our own heads? Just love that for me. And also, I had this experience with the last book I read, which, like, I like the fact that I can sometimes self-reflect, because I read something in the book and I'm like, do I do this? Am I this kind of person? Like, it also makes you think about your own actions and your own self, and that's kind of cool, like, you know? At least I think so. Question number 5, what book series got you into reading? I would say I've always read since I've learned how to read. Like, I had this huge collections of very tiny short books, children's books that I have given onto my niece and so on. But like,
you know who else? A little fun fact. You know who else reads children's books? I
have these like also like there's this collection that's just, you know, this is in Portuguese and it's very popular in Portugal.
I'll say it. How he reads like 200 something books a year? Dane Cobain. I caught him the other day. He's on Twitter. He reads these he actually like reviews children's books too, which there's nothing wrong with that, because actually there's a market for that too. Like adults, parents and stuff will look up children's books, and they may want to know a little bit about the book before they actually, if they're not going to buy it at a bookstore, maybe they buy it on Amazon. So it'd be nice, for that there are people out there that are willing to read children's books, and also the fact that there are also indie authors that do write children's books as well. And it's actually, I imagine it's probably quite a project to take on, because children's books tend to have quite a few illustrations.
Which is where I live, and it's just, everyone talks about it, and it's one of the series that got me into reading, because it's just, preteen, and it's just very easy reading, and all of that stuff. And also, honorable mention to Aragon.
This there you go, Chaz. Bookish Dragon.
It was
got
like
a Bookish Dragon there.
In my
I haven't read the Aragon series.
In my reading journey, like when I started, especially in like middle school, I think, because like I saw this in the library and I got it and I started reading it and I loved it. And then I got to read the other books and they are very big. They're like 800 and 900 page books. And, I just bragged a lot that I was reading huge books, which is so stupid, but, and also...
That's not stupid. if people read the tomes, that's quite a. If you can stick through it, and sometimes these books they take quite a commitment to get through, especially when you're talking series where each book is like a tome, like 1,200 pages per book. I mean, it's a huge commitment to make. And you get through that, it does feel like quite an achievement. So, so that's the bookie newbie tag, the bookish booktube newbie tag. So this is my idea. I got some people here. I was talking about this idea earlier. If you watch it on the replay, whatever. But if you do a booktube, is it Malazans? Malazans. If you see me in the comments and I type out "muh," I go like this. I'm saying Malazans. I do that just saying, talking shit. So my proposition was this. So if you guys, because people seem to have cold feet as far as like getting involved in this live stream, and I really want to make this whole live stream is not, like I say, is a show. It's just like I want to make it about you guys. For me, it's cool to like get to know you guys, and it helps me out with my channel engagement. But most of all, coming up with the content, I would rather just do like requests. So one idea that I had was doing these tags. So if anytime you guys do a book tag video, then you can just tag me in the video. I already subscribed. I'm subscribed to quite a few people on Booktube, but that doesn't mean that I always see every video that you guys post. So if you do a book tag video, just tag me in it. And that way I can get some mentions on my channel, and then I'll do the same in reverse if when I feature your video on the live stream, and I'll see if I can do the tag. This was just kind of like a sampling. I just looked up these Booktube, the Booktube newbie tag. I just put it in the search bar, and I just started watching people that had under 1,000 views on their video as just kind of like a sample to just see, practice like looking up videos and get a sample of like how the book tag thing would work on a live stream. But if you guys do a book tag video and you tag me in the video, then I'll do the whole thing. I'll do your whole video from beginning to end and go through all the questions that way on the live stream. And I think that would be interesting. And depending on how many people, if I get tagged multiple times, I'll figure it out how to work around that. But for the most part, I think as of right now, I'll just look it up and do the whole video. But that's it for me for this live stream event. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for stopping by and checking it out, saying hi. I appreciate that. And if you want to spread the word, let people know. Like if you have, I just ask that people are requesting content that they create themselves, but which is why, just via word of mouth, send some messages around. I'd really appreciate that. Get some more people onto the channel and get some requests going. If people have a website, I'll read their flash fiction, I'll read their poetry, or I'll read an essay that they've written. If they have it on a blog, I'll do video requests. I mentioned the tag video. So if you do me a tag video, or it could be like an essay, a video essay video. But I also mentioned another one that I don't think anyone's thought of before, but doing stand-up comedians. So if someone does like comedy bits or something like that, or skits on their YouTube, I'll watch those videos and they can kind of get my reaction on the live stream. I think that would be pretty fun. And then the last one was people with books on the market. So if you know someone and they have a book on the market and you're in contact with them, send them my way. Tell them I stream live every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific. And they could just hop in live like you guys are right now in the chat. And then just all they got to do is just give me the title of their book and the name of the author. I know sometimes people use pen names, and I'll look it up on the live. I'll read their blurb or their synopsis, and then maybe even give them my first impressions on the book. So that's it for me. Thanks, guys. I'll be here same time next Monday.